Welcome back to Trinidad and Tobago. We continue our conversation as we talk about family life. Of course, it being Family Life Month this morning, we'll be touching base with our friends in Tobago. We'll be chatting with Sharon Clark, the Youth Director and Planning Committee member of the Scarborough New Testament Church of God, and also Davina Nelson, President and Panel Representative. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Davina, how are you doing this morning?
I'm fine, thank you.
Did I get your name right?
Yes, you did.
Okay, it's actually my middle name. Very, very lovely name.
That's good.
So we're talking about the Youth Symposium that takes place on Friday 8th and also a Marriage Symposium on June 16th. What's on the agenda?
Well, for the Youth Symposium, we'll be having a panel discussion moderated by David Pearson, the Crossroads Youth at the Crossroads Director, Coordinator. And on the panel, we'll have Dr. Remy in the facility of a medical doctor. We'll have Reverend Sherman Gunn as a parent and myself as a youth, bringing the youth perspective.
All right. And Mr.
So
Clark?
we'll basically be discussing whether or not the impact of the buggery law at the schools.
Right. And Mr. Clark, you are the youth director. How do you feel about this particular event, the Youth Symposium?
Well, it's a very good and very important discussion that we need to have this time, because what is happening in our society, what is happening with our laws, we do know that the act of itself has not been challenged. You know, just few of the amendments and the acts that have been put to question right now. So a lot of our young people need this very, very important information to navigate their way through this time.
Is it the first time that you all are having a youth symposium?
Yes, it is. Actually, it is.
Why did you see the need to have something like this? How critical is this?
Well, it's very, very critical, especially at this time where we are experiencing so much challenges in the school system. You know, you're having children in fights and all sorts of substance abuse. When you go into the school through even Life at the Crossroads and dealing with the children on a regular basis, especially when they come to our youth ministry, you would hear the different challenges, children being approached by elder people, you know, for sexual favors. So we need to really step up, and the church needs to step up to acknowledge this problem and deal with it.
Would you say, Mr. Clark, that you all have a vibrant youth department at that church?
Oh, yes, we do.
All right.
We have a very vibrant, different age group, all the way up to at least 21.
Davina, what's the theme for this particular event?
Can you repeat that, please?
The theme. Do you all have a specific theme that you're working with?
Well, the theme is basically dismantling the buggery law in the school system. That's what we're working with, and that's what we're aiming to discuss. And the different views, I had the responsibility to gather views of different youths in different schools and bring that forth and just share that knowledge.
And if we were to focus a little bit more on wholesome families, because I know that's a very, very important aspect of this entire initiative. Wholesome families, if you look at the state of the family in Trinidad and Tobago, how would you describe it?
Well, in Trinidad and Tobago, we see the family moving away from the typical or what is expected nuclear family. And now we are seeing a lot more single parent family, whether headed by male or female. And I think with this buggery law, that's also encouraging all these kinds of acts. And we are here to just discuss and find out whether what is causing the single parent family increase.
You will also be one of the featured speakers at this event?
Yes, I'll be one of the panel members, yes.
What area will you be focusing on?
Can you repeat that, please?
What area will you be focusing on?
I'll be focusing on the youth perspective, basically, of what we think, because what I found out through my research is that most youths don't really know what the Buggery law or act is about. Most of us actually thought it was just legalizing homosexuality and homosexual marriages. But after doing research, most of the youth found out that it's deeper than that, and the act is not going really to the extent where we are where the government or the movement is to legalize homosexual marriages, but more so to legalize the sexual part and the bestiality and those kind of stuff. So I'm just bringing the youth perspective.
And who will be some of the other speakers at the event?
We have Dr. Remy. She will be medical, in the capacity of a medical doctor. We also have Reverend Sherman Gunn, and she will be in the capacity of a parent.
Okay. What is on the agenda for the Marriage Symposium? What can we expect?
Well, for the Marriage Symposium, we're going to have, this area is dealing with many different topics, such as the praiser and punisher, for example. This one is masking the pain of abuse. So what is happening here, you know, we've had a lot of cases in the churches sometime. At large, we know abuse is heavily protruded out there in Trinidad and Tobago, in the wider society. But it's not even noticed that it's happening right there in the church. Mm-hmm. So this area, we have created this area to allow the action or the hidden action to be exposed. That's one area. And then sexual fulfillment in the marital bed, whether it is fantasy or reality. So we're dealing with a little touchy subject, if they would like to say that, you know, because they don't like to discuss a lot of these sexual things in the churches, but we are braving it this time.
What about choosing a spouse? Are you going to offer some advice to the young people about choosing a spouse? What qualities you look for? What are some of the red flags?
Most definitely. We will be definitely hitting those areas on how do you choose a spouse, you know, how do you court? Because, you know, these days a lot of people don't do the courting thing. They just see someone, they like them, and they want to be in a relationship.
Davina, do you agree with that statement he just made?
Yes, that's very true. And yes, I'd love to find out how to choose the correct spouse for the, you know, long-term relationship.
That sounds wonderful. Now, what would have gone into planning this event, actually putting things together?
This one was, actually this was done in 3 weeks. This entire planning was done in 3 weeks. A lot of late hours, yes, but very strategic planning, very effective, headed by Mrs. Janet Parks from Parks International right here in Tobago. So we came together, a church body, and we sat together, we planned this. We looked at the whole development of man, not only one specific area. So we wanted to deal with the holistic development from mind, body, and soul. So we had our health fair that had passed on June the 2nd, which kicked it off. And last night, we actually had our parenting seminar at the church, number 17, Figure Street, Old Market, Tobago.
Okay, so these are two events. We have on Friday 8th, you have the Youth Symposium, correct?
Yes.
And the Marriage Symposium on June 16th.
Yes.
So these two events will be taking place at the church, correct?
Yes, all of the events will be taking place at the church compound in different areas. So it all starts at 6 p.m. and runs straight through to 9. The Marriage Symposium will be the only other event that happens on a Saturday, but everything else takes place on either Tuesday or Friday.
Do you have to register before you attend?
No, there's no registration. We just, you know, invite the whole public to come out, and it's actually free of charge.
Most importantly. Mr. Clark, closing comments.
Well, I would just like to encourage everybody out there, if you are facing any sort of challenges, whether you're a young person, married person, single person, whatever your status is, we just want to encourage you that you can come out to this event, gain the information, the knowledge that you need, because as we know, knowledge is power.
Yes.
And it is crucial that we get this knowledge to navigate through this time that we are living in.
And your closing comments, Davina?
I would just like to encourage everyone to come out and support. Don't be afraid to come out and ask questions. As my youth leader said, knowledge is power. And at times we feel that we know everything and we know everything about certain situations, as we just hear people saying, oh, this is that. But in truth and in fact, we need to dig deeper and actually do our own research and find out more about these situations. I'd also like to encourage persons to attend the Dramarama. We have a Dramarama on Friday the 22nd, and that will just be including all different churches bringing forth a drama piece that's going to be titled Maintaining a Christian Witness in a Dysfunctional Family. So that will also be a great event to attend.
Is there a number to call for further details?
Yes, you can get the office at 639-PRAY, that's 7729, or 639-1500.
Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us this morning. Indeed, a pleasure chatting with you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure chatting with you as well.
You're most welcome. I look forward to some more conversations with you. We've been chatting with Sharon Clark, Youth Director, Planning Committee member of the Scarborough New Testament Church of God, and also Davina Nelson, President and panel representative. And of course, just to remind you, those numbers to call: 639-7729, also 639-1500 for those events that are upcoming. The Youth Symposium on Friday, 8th of June, and also the Marriage Symposium on June 16th.